When I come up with these events and I'm looking at kind of what kind of speakers we could bring, I always try to bring different people with different backgrounds and different expertise. And I was saying that when you're NLP trained, there's things, before you're NLP trained, you're really looking at what's happening around you. And obviously you're listening consciously of what they're saying and how they're saying it, and how are they delivering whatever it is that they're delivering. When you become NLP trained, you start becoming a modeler. That's the essence of NLP. It's studying success strategies, studying people. So a lot of the times it's about seeing how other experts deliver a talk, maybe how they do a trance. So the NLPLife talks, and Susan's talk is a perfect example, is about what can I learn as a therapist, as a coach, on whatever it is that she's doing. Now, Susan didn't mention any names, and I won't mention any names because if she didn't, why should I? But I can assure you, and I'm sure she'll tell you on a one-to-one basis, she's had the biggest artists, actors, actresses, and business people coming to her. And there's been some amazing success stories. So she's very humble. She was very nervous, as you can see, but I think she did a great job. And where she really shone was obviously with her trance. So thank you so much. Well done. Okay, so I'm not going to be talking about, as I said, I cover several things: motivation, confidence. I'm obviously NLP trained. But in particular today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my life story, but most importantly, kind of the success story, if I may, of the Best You and NLPLife training, and how I managed to build my brand. So basically, is that how it goes? Yeah. I asked you this morning, what are you here for? Well, personally, it's just a question I would like you to ask yourself permanently and daily, from a personal, professional, and global point of view. What are you here for? And you have to have a clear objective in life, and you have to have a true meaning in life. To be honest, I discovered mine quite late in life. And how many of you are interested in exploring this business development thing? How many, come on, put your hands up, seriously, hello, yeah, okay, great. And how many of you are already in the business of personal development, or in business? Okay, a little bit less than half. So I'm a great believer. I was talking about a legacy. I'm a big fan of Stephen R. Covey, and he's saying that, well, life is about living, loving, laughing, and leaving a legacy. I'm a great believer in that. But I saw an article in Bloomberg, well, quite a while ago now, but it says that 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs who start a business fail within the first 18 months. That's a whopping 80% crash. And that's a big number. And there's many reasons, I'm sure, but the first reason is that they're not really in touch with customers through deep dialogue. Reason 2, that there's no real differentiation in the market, lack of unique value in what they do and what they represent. Failure to communicate value propositions in a clear, concise, and compelling fashion. Leadership breakdown at the top. Yes, that's the founder. And reason 5, inability to nail a profitable business model with proven revenue streams. Now, I've seen this many, many times over the years, and as the company has grown, we've had lots of people potentially wanting to work with us and be involved with a brand. And there's no step in between. They come and say, I want to become the next Tony Robbins. And I think we were talking today, Julie was talking about steps. And, well, hold on a minute. Have you written a book? No. Well, there's a few little steps in between. So we ultimately have a goal, but we don't necessarily know how we're going to get there. But as in business, the important thing of, if you want to make a difference, if you want to help others, it's got to be profitable. You can help as many people as you can, but at the end of the day, you obviously have to make money. Now, I found it, 8 out of 10, I thought was a big number. But then again, it's the 80-20 rule, isn't it? 80% of your business comes through 20% of your customers, 80%, of your revenue, or 80% of what you do is not productive, 20% is. So the first thing I want to say is that I failed. So yes, guilty. I failed twice. First time I was 26. I already had my first son, Max, and then my wife was pregnant with my second son, and I had a bit of a eureka moment, and I used this 100% of coins. Yes, that's how old I am, 100%, that's before the euros. So it was a bit of a shocker, and really what I had is I had a box of roses full of coins, and it just really triggered when I flipped it over and I took the last one out. And I had a wake-up call, fuck, what am I going to do tomorrow? I was living in denial, not in denial in Egypt. I was living in denial. I thought something will happen. But what happened is that I had no more money. So literally the next day I had to go out to the streets, as I share. There was no prostitution. I had to find a job that allowed me to make money. And what I did is I started working for a timeshare resort, putting people into timeshare resorts. And I had to do that overnight because I literally had no more money. I had nothing. I had no savings. We had people looking for money. And it was a very serious wake-up call. Bottom line is, 1 week later, I was earning £1,000, £1,500, and so on. I built it up. I became then what I thought was a millionaire. My mid-30s, cars, houses, bikes. I was very successful. I had a real estate company, 25 employees. We were selling properties all over the world. Didn't really have a true meaning in life. But the shit hit the fan again. I got the second real estate crisis. Really good at that. And that was it. I lost it all over again. This one was a little bit more difficult because now I had tasted wealth and I had nothing. So, for me, obviously was, if only I knew then what I know now. Why didn't I succeed? Why did I lose everything? Well, listen, there was a lot of things that I didn't do, and which obviously I'm aware of now. And I'm going to share some of those. But I'm just saying is that I was one of those 8 that failed. And there's nothing wrong. I think if anything, it's made me stronger, it's made me harder. And if I talk about resilience, it's because I just get up the next morning and carry on fighting, and get up the next morning and carry on fighting, and get up the next morning and carry on fighting. And I do not allow any negativity in my life. I don't allow anyone negative. I don't want anyone negative. So this was basically, I was trying to find a true meaning, something new. And we went down the route of founding NLPLife training, founding the best you. So basically 12 years after my first training, 12 years after I went bankrupt for the second time, well, here we are today, okay? So that's my story, that's my journey. And if I've learned anything now is to make sure that I've got strong foundations. And obviously I have a clear understanding of how to set a business, make it profitable. But most importantly, have a clear vision of where I want to go and who I want to help. I think I mentioned it this morning. If you're going to do anything in life, do it for the right reasons. A lot of people are in this world just to make money, which is great. But I think we're all in it. We have to be in business, in world, in this life, in your relationship, for the right reasons. So, I did a survey recently to some people that I'm going to be working with for the Tony Pro program, and this is what came up. Out of all the people that were in the business, similar to this room, 60%, 70% of the people are in the business of personal development, 30, 40% of them are in business. And this is what came out. So 91% of them interested in improving their social media skills, 90% public speaking, 89 increasing the size of their database, 88 improving their media skills, 85 copywriting, emails, 83% writing a book, improving their sales 79, running more seminars 70%, help with their web pages. Now these are high percentages really, aren't they? So I'm going to give you as much as I can within the 25-minute period I have, and I'm going to explain kind of what I've done. And a lot of it, seriously, I'm going to explain a little bit, a lot of it is kind of very basic. It's really obvious. And a lot of you say, well, there's no bloody rocket science here. Well, no, there isn't. But are you doing it? I come across a lot of people that have a very successful career, personally, individually. They're doing some great stuff. They're helping a lot of people. But are they actually doing the foundations? Are they establishing their foundations in order for them to grow, to establish themselves credible, as a credible source, as a credible place to go and learn from? So the step one is I'm NLP trained. Bottom line, I came across NLP training when I was in my mid-30s. And I thought, fuck, why am I learning this now? I'd done so many training courses, and it was at that moment, I'm sitting in the seminar room, which I mentioned this morning. I was quite reluctant, but I was there on day 3, and I'm in the middle of the room, and I'm thinking, why am I learning this now? This is just ridiculous. And I had that eureka moment, which a lot of us has. For the first time, I was aware. I was aware of my voice. I was aware of my internal dialogue. I was aware of how other people are communicating and talking. I was aware that I could change my emotional state and change the states of others. So I'm NLP trained, so it's absolutely fundamental. And for those that want to learn, want to change their lives, want to change their careers, want to do something different, something with a bit more meaning, you need to practice, you need to learn, you need to do research. Oh, well, you know, a pianist who's playing in the Royal Orchestra. I mean, you know, this guy's done 10, 12 years, 14 years of playing the piano. People that prepare for the Olympics. You know, the Malcolm Gladwell theory of 10,000 hours, which is the equivalent to 10 years. You've got to put the time in. So study the greats, spend at least 16 or 20 hours researching, doing, studying, learning. There's so much stuff out there, so many great things. So study and model the greats also. There's so many great people doing some great things and giving a lot away. So that's a quote from Dennis Waitley. You know, view life as a continuous learning experience. The step 2, what I did was I took the database from 35,000 to 116,000. Of course, now I was in a great place. Paul McKenna's off to LA. He's off. He's going to close the training company down. I had the opportunity to take over. Yes, I'll have it. Why? Because I didn't really have much in England, in Spain. I'd lost everything. So I wanted to start all over again. I had the opportunity to take over the training company, NLPLife, which was, yeah, fantastic, brilliant. But having said that, I was quite shocked to see that these guys, having run so many seminars for so many years, only have 35,000 people on their database. I mean, they've been training for 8 or 10 years before us, or before me. So in this period of time, and I've hit the VAT, Gordon Brown, 21% VAT, I've gone through a bit of a challenging time in the UK since I've been back. But we've taken out to 116,000. So the first and the most important thing I would say for anyone that wants to build a business, or anyone that wants to build a business in personal development, is grow your database. I can't tell you how many people I see with, well, sometimes terrible web pages or even great web pages, and they're not collecting data. They're not collecting email addresses. I normally say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Don't eat an elephant, but if you did, 1 bite at a time. 1 email address at a time. I can't tell you how many people I come across who've been in the business 5, 6, 8, 10 years, and they've got 100 people in their database. They haven't even got a database. Some of them still got on a spreadsheet. So, create free products. Any seminar, you can film it. You can then make an audio out of it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But give stuff away. Can you spend £1 a day? £1 a day. It can help you grow your YouTube. It can help you get some customers, have a chat on your webpage. But £1 to £10 a day. And one of the things that I was saying before is be unique, okay? There's too much of people copying each other out there. Be unique, stand out, do your own thing. Don't be afraid. An essential aspect of creativity is not being afraid to fail. My step 3 was create a new seminar. So when I came on board, Richard and Paul were doing NLP practitioners and master practitioners. And I thought, well, you know what, that's great, but we need to diversify. We need to do new things. We need to have intros. We were doing evening intros. Then I started doing NLPLife talks. Then we did Get the Life You Want. Then I did Secrets of Hypnosis. Now I've done mentorships. So I've kept on diversifying. That was my call. I kept on diversifying the types of seminars that I could do. Join forces with other speakers. So JVs. A lot of people expect to be paid to speak. I can't tell you how many people I speak to and they expect to get paid. Well, excuse me, who are you? Why would people want to pay you to speak? Any opportunity you have to speak. Everyone that's here today is a volunteer. I thank them very much. They're passionate about what they're doing, but they're also here to help you. And in return, well, listen, hopefully they'll get some business, but they're getting exposure. But JV, joint ventures, you never know. There's loads of opportunities for business here in this room today. You should connect. We're going to be here afterwards. We're going to network a little bit. There's business opportunities here. So sometimes, which might be scary, trying to run a seminar on your own, if that's what you're interested in, well, partner up with a few people. Do an evening. Film everything. And when I mean film everything, don't, film yourself while you're on stage and then get that recording and expect to charge £100 for your webinar. Yes, I've seen it. So, film everything. I'm one, and I'll be talking about that as well. Film quality. It costs less and less. And I'll share a little bit more why we're doing and what we're doing. Good marketers see consumers as complete human beings with all the dimensions that real people have. Good marketing makes the company look smart. Great marketing makes the customer feel smart. We always try and take care of our customers, okay? If you're here, it's because we're doing something okay. Listen, we don't get it right all the time, but our heart is in the right place. And if we do something wrong, well, listen, hands up, we're sorry. Become an author. Now, how many of you want to write a book? Safe to say 60%? Now, not everyone has to write a book. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. But I think if you have a book in you, what are you waiting for? Pardon? You're working on it. Good. So there's a massive difference. I mean, when I got down to writing my books, it was only the time that I actually sat down and started writing, I realized how much I knew. I've been doing seminars for like 9-10 years, and all of a sudden, where did that come from? Where did that come from? It's all this subconscious learning that we've done, especially with bloody Richard Bandler. Put this thing in your head. So, what I've done is, for me personally, I created my brand looking at a 3-5 year strategy. When I did my book, I thought, well, hold on a minute. How many Facebook fans do I have? 0. How many Twitter followers do I have? 0. How many people do I have on the database? 0. But 3-4 years later, within my Spanish Facebook, I've got 120,000 Facebook likes now. I've got 1,500. I've got nearly 9,000 people on the database. So it takes time. But I've written those books, which are self-published, with the intent of writing my best seller next year. And I'm sure now a publisher would probably want me. Anyone out there? And the intent is to go for a bestseller. So I've had a plan and a strategy with 3 to 5 years. And that's what you've got to do. But if you're planning on writing your book, get down to it. Put it in your timeline. Make it happen. Stop procrastinating. Great quote. If you don't work, nothing works. So my step 5 was new future revenue streams. So I started diversifying. So I did NLPLife training for the first 4 or 5 years with Gordon Brown, 21% VAT. It was very interesting, I've got to say, because we went from, Richard and Paul were having seminars with 300-400 people. We went down to 100 people, 150 people at the pracs and the master pracs. It was very difficult, very challenging. But listen, I continued to do that, but I knew that NLP was the foundations of what I wanted to be. As I said, it's a study of excellence. So when I conceived the idea of the best you was, well, listen, there's a lot more to personal development than NLP. I know. There's spirituality, there's weight loss, there's money, financials, finding love, finding a partner, getting over a partner. So at the end of the day, I thought, well, how about something like the best you? So I created the best you, and I came up with the idea of the magazine. Now the magazine's been in for 4 years. I've managed to interview so many great people. It's opened so many doors, unbelievable. Barbara the Angelus, Simon Sinek, Jack Canfield, John DeMartini, you name it. I've interviewed so many great people. And I've interviewed a lot of them over the phone, but nearly 40 or 50 of them in a studio. So I started diversifying. I looked at my brand, and I said, okay, NLPLife is great, but it's very unique, very niche. How can I diversify more? And that was the whole idea of the best you. So now I'm thinking global. Is someone in the world does not want to become the best you? Everyone wants to become the best version of themselves. So I was looking at how we could make this work. So that was my plan. And one of my recommendations to you is your brand strong enough? Does your brand look good? Is it credible? Disassociate yourself from yourself for a minute. Google yourself. Check your webpage. What would you think? What do you think? Because first impression counts. So make sure your brand is strong, is credible. Make sure your webpage is credible and looks good. And I was saying that sometimes, you might want to create several brands. I know some of you think, oh, this is my niche. Well, you just never know where you're going to go. You might be doing something today. You might be doing something completely different tomorrow. You don't know what people are going to, sign on for. So, there's always opportunities for podcasts, YouTube channel, a magazine, webinars, content, diversifying to create new and different revenue streams. Jeff Bezos, what your brand is. And this is it. Think big. So visualize. Timeline your future. Some of you may know what timelines are. We do it I think we do it at the Master Prac. And we've all got, kind of that 3 or 5 year strategy in our 10-year plan and where we want to be in X amount of years from today. But my thing to you is think big. When we're talking about people that have changed the world, Elon Musk, massive. Thomas Edison, one person. J.K. Rowling. I mean, one person has influenced millions and millions and millions of people all over the world. So never doubt what you are able and capable of doing. And if you're going to fucking think big. So be prepared to drop something that doesn't work. Focus on what you want and not what you don't want. And I mentioned this morning, remember, it takes time. Julie was saying that, well, unfortunately we have to wait. Well, sometimes we do. Some things that are worth waiting for takes time. Talking about Elon Musk. So be prepared for failure. It's simply feedback. People are scared of failure. So what? It's all about learning. It's called learning. Welcome change. Welcome change. Oh, fuck, that was shit. Great! Welcome change. So then it was about scaling it and becoming global. So for me, ultimately, when I did the Best You, when I launched the Best You, I always had in mind that the steps in my 3-5 year plan was ultimately to have my own TV channel. Now, I can't start a TV channel on day one. I need to create content. I need video content. That's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. I had hair when I started filming. That's how long I've been doing it. So, but ultimately that was my plan. But a lot of you now, and if you look at these YouTubers, some of these kids, they're amazing. 5 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers, 500,000 subscribers. They're making 50, 100, 200,000 pounds a month. It doesn't take much. You don't necessarily need your own channel, your own platform. So for us, it was that. And producers are looking for content. So are we. We're looking for quality content all the time. And if you're going to do anything, as I said before, produce and do quality. Yes, it costs a little bit more, but instead of filming 3 seminars, film 1. Spend the money on 1, do it properly. A lot of people expect to do average products and get ridiculously priced revenue from it. It doesn't work that way. Look at what's out there. There's so much great free stuff. I mean, our magazine's free. You can imagine how much work we put into that. Action. And then scale it. Partners, brand association. So it's important. I think we were saying about the opportunities that are here today, the opportunities that you have with the speakers, the opportunities that you have with all the content we've given and all the information we've given. So be prepared to, discuss business opportunities with people, but be prepared to scale it up. There's going to become a moment when you have really good, strong, solid foundations and you think, you know what, we're ready. We're at that place now. It's taken me a good 9-10 years of NLPLife training, and it's taken me probably 4 to 5 years of the Best You to where we are today. So, but there's a lot of people out there. So brand association, work with people, associate with people that have good brands. Maybe you can share the stage with them. Maybe they can share the stage in one of your seminars. Have a little picture with them. All these things count. But make sure you work with the right people. So, as I said, kind of some of the stats and the information. Oh, I'm going to go over my time. So a little bit of information over kind of the things that we've achieved. So Facebook, 91,000, Twitter followers 42, database is over 116,000 now, total reach is 35. As I said, in my Spanish one over 120,000. We've got 250 hours of content. That's what we've managed to do in the last 9 years. We launched a magazine. We did our first expo this year. When I did the magazine, I originally knew I wanted to do the expo, but I needed to wait at least 3-4 years. I thought, wow, how cool would it be to have a personal development expo where you get all these thinkers. So imagine what we've seen today. Well, at the expo next year, in the 4th and 5th of March, we're actually aiming for 10,000 people. We're going to have 120 workshops. So 120 workshops happening throughout the 2 days. How many of you attended the expo? This year. Okay, quite a few, great. So, kind of that's where I'm going, thinking big. Now, this is where we're here. In 2018, I plan to go to the US. This year, the first expo we did, we had 4,800 people pre-register, 3,200 people showed up. We had 55 workshops. So we're obviously scaling up a bit. Some of the people that I've interviewed over the years, these are our partners once we launch a TV channel, which is going to happen in the first, second quarter of 2017. We're launching our e-learning platform also in 2017 with a lot of the video content that we put together. The Best You Radio, probably at the end of the year. With all the content that we've got, a lot of the interviews that I've done, simply just change the format. We've got all of a sudden 200 hours of content for the radio, plus the new interviews I'll be doing. Live in a studio or live in a recording studio. So I managed to achieve this surrounding myself with an amazing team. And that's one of the things that I've learned, that obviously if you want to work and you want to succeed, you need to make sure that you surround yourself by the right people. And that's kind of what we do. So, worked with Richard. One of the things, I mean, my longest position has been that I've been MD of myself for the last 30 years. Not 30, sorry. I tried, 51. Okay, so I've been my own MD, but I've been married to the missus for 30. I've been a father for 25, 26. I'm also an author. I'm the editor of The Best You. I've been the promoter for Richard and Paul for the last 10. And there's several ways that we can help you. So, apart from the NLP training, which is a must, in my opinion, I think any of you, if you have any intent of succeeding in life and doing anything in life, NLP is an absolutely essential foundation. And then apart from that, well, we've got several programs. One is the Turning Pro, which is the 6-month program that I told you, 6 months, 12 days, where we work with people on all the products and all the necessities that they need in order to succeed in life. We're doing some partnership programs, and also I'm doing my own mentorship program. So all this information is at the end of the desk over there. And look, we are blessed, and we're in the way that we don't necessarily have to work with everyone, but you know, kind of the programs that we've got are limited in numbers, and will continue to be. So I was saying, well, are you here? Well, I'm here because I'm passionate about kind of what we do. I'm passionate about personal development, passionate about making a difference, passionate about helping others. And ultimately, the people that I'm working with, either through the mentorship, through the Turning Pro, or through the partnerships, is we throw everything in, everything that we've got. So we're looking for content for the e-learning. We're looking for content for the TV. So the Turning Pro program, as I said, those are the things we cover with Paul Boros, Mindy Gibbons, book publishing, Paul Boros, public speaking, Mindy Gibbons, book publishing, Leon and Rob, new revenue streams, Fiona Harold, media and PR. Elliot Kay is going to be helping us with business and marketing strategies. Tony Morris about executive sales and team training. Sharon Callick, social media. QB Springer, branding. And I'll be doing the mentorship and the business coaching, the mindset and how you can run seminars and events. That's the Tony Pro. The course starts tomorrow. And for those who say, well, I can't start tomorrow, it doesn't matter. You can start the weekend after. Okay? It's a 6-month program, 12 days. Those are the weekends. We've got all the information at the back. We've got some offers going on at the moment, which you can see also at the back. You can pay it off monthly. The partnership programs, where we give you exposure through the magazine and all the different platforms that we have. And we've got a few people here that already are partners. And then my mentorship, where basically I can work with you on a one-to-one basis, look at your brand and help you get the right mindset, connect you with people, provide you content, seminars, all sorts of things. And that was it. That was a lot in 25 minutes. So thank you so much. We've got a half an hour coffee break now, and then we'll see you back at 4. Thank you very much.